Hi, my name's Ellen. I'm a horse agility accredited trainer and this is my mule Inara. Today I'm going to give you an introduction to horse agility and talk about leading. Horse agility is a fantastic and fun sport in which you and your equine work as a team to navigate a series of obstacles. Some of the obstacles require good timing and precision, and others are more scary and require good trust. But horse agility isn't just about the obstacles. It's a way of improving the relationship and handling skills you have with your equine. Each new member who signs up for the International Horse Agility Club will start out at starter level. You can then build your way up through the levels. There are courses for everybody. There are walking only courses for those humans or equines who cannot physically go faster than a walk. There are liberty classes for those who want to work at liberty with their equine. And there are also equagility classes, which are the ridden classes. For those who don't wish to compete, there are certificate courses available, as well as the monthly Horse Agility Challenge, which is a non-competitive class. The great thing about horse agility is that you can join in from home. You build the course yourself and video your entries to send in. Horse agility is open to various horsemanship techniques and experiences, and how I do things may be completely different to how somebody else will do things. However, I'm going to show you what works for me and my equines and the horsemanship skills that I teach my students. The Horse Agility Club is incredibly supportive and encouraging. The main focus is to have fun whilst building a good relationship with your equine. Through these videos, I will show you how to work through the obstacles and in turn improve your handling skills. Leading skills are very overlooked in the horse world, and a lot of people see the head collar and lead rope as just a tool to get the horse in and out of the field. However, there's a lot more to leading skills than meets the eye, so today I'm going to show you the importance of leading skills and how to lead with a soft, relaxed lead rope. A soft, relaxed lead rope is very important when leading your equine. It makes it a more positive experience for your equine, so you're not pulling on their head all the time. And it also creates softness between you and your equine. In horse agility, if you have a taut rope between you and your horse, so if the rope becomes taut and you're pulling on the rope, you will lose a mark for that obstacle. It's therefore very important to learn to lead with a nice, soft, relaxed lead rope. And the way to start this is to ask your equine to walk on, keep a nice, relaxed, low shoulder, and keep this arm, your leading arm or your guiding arm, nice and relaxed and low and guiding your equine. So I'm going to ask Inara to walk forward and do a little circle. And as I'm doing the circle, I'm going to use my body to communicate to Inara which way I'm going. So I'm going to turn my shoulders, face up the direction that I'm going, but also keep half an eye on her to see what she's doing. So if she starts to veer off to the other side, I need to come back to her, drop towards her and invite her to come back to me. So I'm just going to let her finish her switch. Right, you ready? So I have to walk on, drop my shoulder. Okay, I'm going to go this way, so I'm turning my shoulders, keep half an eye on her. Ask for a halt. Whoa, good girl. Okay? Good girl. So as I come into the halt there, what I'm doing is I'm bending my knees, pushing my hips back into a whoa motion. So you're kind of going whoa. And that's quite important as a cue for your equine to stand still. And it usually works with pretty much any equine. They'll respond to that motion there. You can see the stopping movement really clearly in slow motion here. And I find that this movement is a really good starting point to get your equine more tuned into your body language and responding to your body movements. Okay, so we're going to move Inara off again. This time I'm going to show you the importance of waiting. So I'm going to ask her to walk forward. I'm going to wait for the response. So I'm not going to go too far ahead so the rope becomes taut. And I'm not going to pull her along with the rope. I'm just going to wait for her response and use the voice cue to walk her on. So I'm going to drop my shoulder, drop my arm, walk on, wait, and then walk forward. Left. And come this way. Nice relaxed lead rope. Whoa. Okay. Now, She's quite easy because she knows what she's doing. If you've got a horse that pushes forward and comes ahead of you, so if you're leading and the horse gets like here, you'll find it more difficult to initiate those first halts. Let's wait for this car. So ideally when you halt, you want to be in a good position where you can check in with your equine. I usually have them at my shoulder. Good girl. I will ask for the wooer. She's got an itch. If your equine comes too far ahead of you, you're going to struggle with that initial halt. So what we're going to do, when the equine comes pushing ahead of you and pulling forward, I ask you to turn a circle, and as you turn the circle, it just puts you back ahead of the equine and in a better position to then halt. Whoa. So this circling technique I've shown you here is good for the initial stages of training if you've got a more speedy equine. Eventually you should be able to stop your equine no matter where you are in position to their body. During a horse agility course itself, you want to maintain a good flow between obstacles, so you want to avoid circling. So this technique I'm showing you here is for the initial training stages if you've got the more speedy equine. Practicing changing speed with your equine can be really useful in teaching them to match your pace. You can speed up by extending your own strides and building up your energy to go faster. You can slow back down again by drawing your energy right down, taking shorter strides, and just bringing your shoulders back in almost a half halt motion. A big deep breath out can also be useful in slowing your equine down. If you can practice matching your strides with your equine, that's even better. So if you can take a step at the same time as your horse is taking a step and match the strides, it's a really useful connection to have. This can be really useful when the horse starts to mimic you back. So as you start to slow down your strides, the horse will mimic and slow down their strides with you. Okay, and with the wool, you can bring your arm up as well. Good girl, stand still a minute. And you might find with this wooer motion, you need quite a big one to start with so you get a hang of it. Don't worry, it'll take a few goes to get used to doing it. And then you'll find the more you do it, the more subtle you get it. And the more subtle your equine listens to you. You can also drag your foot coming into that wooer, which creates an audio cue to help the equine realise that you're slowing down. You may find at times your equine gets distracted and tries to walk off in the wrong direction. And at this point it's quite easy to grab the lead rope and pull them towards you. And I'm going to show you how to do that without using the lead rope. So as the equine says she wants to go that way, I'm going to then come back towards her, drop my shoulder and invite her to come back round. I'm going to take her towards the curtain because she likes doing the curtain. Hopefully she'll try to go off to it. And I want to bring her back to me, so let's see what happens. So I'm going to drop my shoulder, so walk on. Okay, cool. So she very nearly went through that curtain there, but I managed to stop her by not using the lead rope, but by approaching her again, dropping towards her and asking her to come through me. Another game we can play with the leading is to lead while facing them, and I'm just going to walk her a little bit away from the camera, and then I'm going to face her. I'm going to drop my shoulders towards her, ask her to come to me, and then stand up nice and tall and ask her to hold. So she'll turn around, walk on. Okay, so stand here, I'm going to drop my shoulders, ask her to come, and then stand up tall. Okay. Drop my shoulders. Okay. Show you that again. Walk. Then I drop my shoulders, ask her to follow. Stand up. You may find you need to take a step towards your equine and really push your shoulders back for that halt. But that's quite a nice game that you can use, and it teaches them to draw towards you. I'm also going to talk to you about voice cues. So I use voice cues quite a lot with my equines, and I think they're very important and again quite overlooked sometimes. So it's important with voice cues that you keep consistent. So if you want to halt, use a whoa, or whatever word you want to use, but keep it the same. So don't use whoa one day and then stop the next day, because it won't make any sense to the equine. It might make sense in your head, but it won't in theirs. So I use a whoa, and the way I've taught the whoa is a lot of it is repetition. So I say walk on and whoa, walk on, whoa, and we do that just a few steps of walk on. Just gonna let this car pass. Just a minute. Good girl. You can also reward the response to the voice cue when they do correct. Some like a simple scratch, others will like food rewards. Now, it's important with food rewards that you know how you're doing it, so you've got some basic idea of how to use food rewards. And this involves having a marker for that behaviour. So when the equine has done the right thing, you make a noise or a sound to indicate to the equine that that is what you're getting the reward for. Otherwise, things could get a bit muddled if you then carry on doing something else and then give the reward. It's very, very much about timing. So, if teaching the whoa voice cue, using food rewards, you'll ask them to walk on, use your motion, whoa, use the voice cue. As soon as they halt, mark that behaviour. So, really busy today. I use a click of the fingers. You can use whatever noise you like. So, as soon as they halt, click of the fingers, and then that follows on with the reward. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk around, ask her to halt, mark that behaviour, and then give her a reward. So drop my shoulder, wait for her to come. Turn my shoulders towards you. Whoa! Okay, I'm not going to reward that because she got distracted. So I'm going to take her around again. Walk on. Wait. Whoa! Nice. So I clicked as soon as she halted. Clap around, getting the food out the pocket. Nicely. Good. And walk. Good girl. Okay. And you can also use that for the walk on cue if you've got a slightly less motivated horse, we will say. You can ask for the walk on as soon as they walk, click of the fingers, stop and reward them. So I'll just show you that. So we'll turn this way, guide her, walk on, good. Walk on, and do the whoa again, whoa, nice, good girlie. Nicely. Good girl. Fun. Good girl. Okay, so that's the basics of some leading work. There are lots more things you can do. We're going to go through backing up in a different video, but I find that quite important. And again, that's of body and voice cues, but that's in the next video. Good girl. There's also the stand, which we'll go through at some point. Teaching them to stand while you walk away to the end of the rope and come back again. There's lots of games you can do just for this simple leading and halting. You can go over poles or between obstacles. And it's really a good basis for completing a course of obstacles to have all these cues ready. With horse agility, what I find is as you're going along, your skills will develop. So it doesn't matter if you're not very good at this to start with, the skills will develop as you go along, and that's the important thing. I found with Inara, we started out and she'd barely done any leading at all. She was unhandled when I got her. So this has really developed well, and she's now on the top level of agility. We've worked through the levels. I've used horse agility. The road is so busy. So I've used horse agility to work up our leading skills. Good one. Okay. Thank you, Richie. Molting. So just one quick tip, if you're finding it hard to keep that loose rope, because it is habit that we grab the rope, I don't know if you can see from here, what I've got on Inara's head collar, she's not clipped on it at the moment, but there is a tiny bit of baling twine tied to the lead rope, tied to the head collar ring, sorry. And baling twine as it is actually quite thick, it doesn't break very easily. But what you can do is separate the threads out and just clip the lead rope onto just a couple of threads, and you'll be amazed how soft you become with the lead rope. Now obviously only do this in a confined safe area, because if that does break your equine will be loose. But it's amazing how much more you think about keeping a soft rope when you've got literally a thread to hang on to. Good girl. And I find that sometimes we've got to push ourselves like that in order to break the habits. Good girl. So I'm just going to walk around one more time, go through what we've been talking about, and then we'll leave it at that for today. So I'm going to walk around, I'm going to drop this shoulder, I'm going to use the voice cue. I know you're bored. I'm going to use the voice cue to walk on. You're going to roll. Just 2 more minutes now. 2 more minutes. Okay, so I'm going to walk around, drop my shoulder, she's facing the other way, so I'm going to come back towards her. Good girl, walk on. Okay, I'm going to turn this way, turn my shoulders. Good girl. Ask for a halt. Whoa. Nice. Walk her on again, drop shoulder. Good girl. Ask for a halt. Whoa. Stand. Got my shoulders towards her. Stand. This time I'm going to zigzag back down towards you. Drop shoulders, go one way, go the other way, and stand. The zigzag game is quite fun. Just be aware they can get a bit excited when doing that. So I'll show you again, drop shoulder as good as I can. Turn my shoulders, and get hold of her. So zigzag this way, and then this way, and then this way, and stand tall to halt. Good girl. And stand. Good, so Inara's getting bored and wants to roll. So we're going to leave it at that for today. Stay safe everybody. I look forward to doing the next video. Wait for this car to pass. Thank you very much from me and Inara, and I will see you all soon.